Okay, so what I'm trying to do now, I'm just trying to understand what other things might be wrong with the bike. So I took the right fairing off. I want to see what type of battery I need to fit into the bike. I believe it's a 16 amp battery that will fit in here. I think it's about 20 something centimeters wide, sorry, in length, and it should be about 60 centimeters tall. I've checked online, there's few options in there, so I'll order that one. Then I want to test the engine compression, which I'll do later on, and I also want to check if there's any problems with the carburetors. At the minute I just found two kind of loose fuel hoses. They're coming from the carburetors. I do not believe these are the main supply lines. There might be the overflow. I'm not 100% convinced because they seem to be quite big hoses. This one looks like a fuel line hose, even though I can see here from the tank that this fuel line is already connected, and then this seems to be the overflow that goes here. I'm not sure how visible is that from there, but I'll try to fold the camera there. Okay, so let me just adjust the camera a bit, the camera's angle. Yeah. Okay, so there's three fuel lines here. So two of them do get connected together. Right here, there's a connection, a linkage basically, and it goes into the carburetors. And then there's, I think this is the overflow, which is right here. Goes like that, and it's right there. Now, I believe this is the overflow from the carburetors, but it looks a bit weird because it feels like they got some fuel filters on them. I need to do a bit of research. I'm not a carburetor specialist, so I wanna make sure I know what they are. Other than that, I was checking, brake lines and everything. Everything seems to be okay. Not sure about brake fluid, which I'll give it a check now. Seems to be. Let me just get some gloves. So, right here, brake fluid seems to be alright. I would say, yeah, it is clean-ish, but probably it's worth replacing it, which I will do later on. It's an easy operation, so but that will come on later because it's quite an easy thing to do. I want to check that the ones in the front, there's got no brake fluid in the front, so that must have been because someone already tried to do it, but didn't complete the whole operation. So yeah, once I get the new battery, and I will connect it and I'll do a bit of research. I've got a Haynes manual, which I have to research on to see what these are. I'm still struggling to understand. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do it, but probably I will have to take the air box off, which is this, and basically reach to the carburetors and just have a bit of a better understanding what needs to be done. But in order to do that, I'll have to take the, I'll show you now, I'll have to take the CDIs off with the all the electronics from here, with the battery bracket, and as well the all this air box. So yeah, but I think it might be in a way the better option, because I want to understand what these are, and by the looks of it I'll have to replace them anyway, so I think I've got no choice anyway. Coil packs are also here, so it looks like one's been replaced already. It must have been because it went, well, might be the previous one was damaged. This looks like an aftermarket. I think this is the OEM ones. They tend to go bad after a while, so you know, it must have been the right thing to do anyway. Okay, so I believe what I'll do today, I'm just going to take this airbox off and the brackets and everything that's here, and see what's underneath. Alright, so I have a Heinz Ducati manual, which I'm going to use it to do a bit of research on the carburetors. Now I started reading through it, and I also found what all those fuel lines are on the tank. So actually there is a fuel tap, which is this one right here, very tiny, which I'll show you. I'll get the camera. So there is a fuel, yeah, there is a fuel tap. Is actually, you have to turn it to get the fuel going to the carbs, I believe. Let's see. Oh, it feels like it's a bit stuck. I'm sure that you just, there we. Let me just get some pliers. I'm sure that this one is actually your, oh, there we go. See? So this one, it's definitely going to start releasing now the fuel if you activate the pump to the carburetors. So that's your main fuel line. This is the return line, which it feels like it's linked here with the fuel line. Don't know, probably should have been like that, not really sure, but it feels like this was the original setup. And then the last one, which is this, is this one, the small one, is the actual drain line, drain hose. So, and it goes up down here. So I think this should start when I get a new battery. Another thing I've noticed is, well, as I said, I'm not a specialist. These two hoses, these are breathers for the carburetors. I went through the manual and it's showing here top breather hose, and then should be a bottom breather hose, which I believe is the other one. In this image you might see the configuration from a Ducati Monster, which they'll have a breather attached to the frame, which is right here. I'm not sure, probably I'll put one in there. I don't believe it's actually needed because it feels like these got some filters on them. I'll double check what these are and how good they are. It's easy to replace. I still believe I might probably just take this off, just clean everything, probably replace these hoses just before starting out. But at the moment I'm super curious if this actually really starts, because that will be, wow, amazing. That would be absolutely amazing if it does. Then I'll inspect the belts as well, very important for the Ducatis. I want to see what all these wires are. Not sure if it had previously an alarm fitted to it or something, or some sort of a charger. Yeah, this seems to go into what basically this is. Yeah, this one. I think the rectifier must have been replaced, so it's not really sure if this would always be like that. So the rectifier gets power straight from the battery, and then this one, which is another wire, it's got a fuse on it. I'm not sure if this is for the blinkers, because they might have had a conversion here, especially with these LEDs, the ones in the back. I'm not really sure what this is. Where is this going? I will inspect this one. I really don't know. It's really hard to see everything in here. Now this seems to be going here, and from here, literally nowhere. So I want to believe, yeah, it must have had a charger, which must have been somewhere over there. Still, the connections are still here, so I want to think that this at some point, look, it's still here. So I might have done something. Not really sure what exactly, but yeah, I'll probably take this off because I don't really need it. It's just an extra thing which has no purpose. So whatever this was, sorry, but it has to go. So I'll take that off now. Less wires, less is more sometimes. There we go. Yeah, the frame seems to have a bit of rust here. Yeah, I'll clean it. I'll see what's the condition of it as well. Right, so I'm happy that, you know, I now understand a bit more about the bike and what's happened to it. You know, it's really tough when you get in the bike and then trying to work on a bike where it's already been to 2 garages and they've done different mods and stuff to it. It's really hard to understand what exactly happened. But slowly I'm getting there, so I'm quite okay at the minute. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see if it fires up. I'll order a battery today. Should be in the next couple of days, and then yeah, I'll take it from there.